Something I want to do today, chat, is I really want to get started on using battalions more. By the way, I think someone mentioned it in chat last time, it was near the end of stream, but I was doing that mission, I think it was the Dorothea Paralog, and I talked about how, like, oh, it's always so rough fighting archers, because I feel like when you're surrounded by archers, they get you with a lot of pot shots, and then your health drops without me even realizing it, because I just don't pay close enough attention to my health bar when I'm hitting something. And someone in chat said you should get a battalion that makes it where arrows don't do as much damage, and I don't think I mentioned it at the time, but I thought, like, that's a really good idea. I should do that. So we haven't been doing a lot with battalions in general, but I definitely want to look at getting more battalions hired and equipping them to characters that I feel like could really benefit from taking less damage from specific classes. I remember when we first got battalions, I was thinking to myself, what would be better? Do you give the character an even bigger resistance against something they're already strong against? Or do you do it against what they're weak against in case they end up having to go up against something like that? But as we played the game more, every scenario, for the most part in fighting, has been me fighting using a character that has an advantage against the enemy I'm against. So I think I want to push that advantage even more by getting battalions that, like if mages are good against archers, then I want a battalion for my mages that is good against archers to just double up on that, basically. And to make it where, like, when the archers are getting pot shots in on me, I don't take as much damage. So I definitely, during this chapter, want to get a lot deeper into battalion work. And min-maxing that a little bit. I grow stronger through battle. Combat experience really is being the greatest of teachers. Hunting beasts and hunting people are different things, after all. It is indeed, yes. They certainly are different. Let's just hope my skills stay as sharp as yours. I'm not doubting at all that you can. Alright, good chat, Petra. Good chat. Despite the difference in hair color, Her Majesty looks very much like her mother, Anselma. What, me? Oh, I'm just the head of a nearby village who's come to greet the Emperor. Her Majesty's mother, Anselma, was born right here in former Arendelle territory. She would often come to visit our village, though it was a great many years ago. I still remember her as a most wonderful person. How nice. Even when tinged with sadness, her face remains as splendid as always. Still, I wish I could do something that might bring her joy. If only I was smarter, or stronger, or both. Well, I'll just do the best I can with what I've got, and I'm hoping you'll do the same. Do you think they'll add the cast's original time skip outfits as an update later on? Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't expect it. The army attacking Aryan Road is evidently being led by King Dimitri himself. Pretty scary to be fighting a guy who killed his own uncle on his path to the throne, huh? Even those who simply sided with his uncle were named as perpetrators of the tragedy of Duscar and punished accordingly. Yes, what I thought. The tragedy of Duscar was, like, done by a bunch of scumbags who blamed Duscar for it.
Did you need something?
I don't much think about the Lord himself, but those Gaspar folks are an impressive lot. Must love Lord Lenato like a father and are even willing to lay down their lives for him. Maybe he's more praiseworthy than I realized.
A moment of your time.
Aryan Road, known as the Silver Maiden, originally belonged to the Empire. Sadly, the Count Rowe of the time betrayed the Empire and drove a wedge into the defenses. But now it belongs to the Empire once more, and we will never again let it fall into enemy hands. That's the plan, at least. Lysithia, hello.
Let's see.
I capitulated to the Empire, which might actually give my father greater peace of mind. You see, House Ordelia has for some time declared their inclinations to swear allegiance to the Empire. But in my father's heart of hearts, I know he wanted to join with the other lords of the Alliance and fight against the Empire. We once faced cruel treatment at the Empire's hands, so I was fighting in his place. What made you decide to surrender? You don't seem to like the Empire much, so why fall in with us? Well,
Are you serious?
I'm rather curious about Edelgard, so... no, please forget that last part. Yo, honestly, I would join the Empire just based off of Edelgard as a person as well. I want to see, do you have 3 supports with Edelgard like you do in 3 houses, I believe? Why do you don't even have a support conversation with Edelgard in this game? Definitely, I feel like the supports is the one place that 3 Hopes has really dropped the ball on. Like, come on. You even have in the main story where Lysithia mentions being interested in Edelgard and whatnot, and they have such interesting supports in 3 houses. Why would she not have them with Edelgard in this game? Come on. Ferdinand and Hubert is interesting. Speaking of,
As it happens.
I thought Count Ro might turn back to the kingdom more readily, but instead he mounts a stout defense from the castle. Perhaps he possesses some backbone after all. Possibly. He really hates Rhea, I know that. I agree, especially when you consider the situation with Count Gloucester. I believe that man had his own reasons, but I understand what you were trying to say. Oh yeah, you're like friends with Lorenz, aren't you? For some stupid reason. Because you're both, like, super into being nobles and all. Hello, Constance.
Excuse me.
Have you heard the rumors? I hear there's someone else in our ranks who wishes to see their house restored. You mean Randolph?
Huh?
Randolph is it? I see. Tread lightly, Randolph, for I have committed your name to memory. I shall not be outdone by you, dear fellow. I will see my house restored first. I don't think his is being restored. He doesn't have one, and he wants to get one.
Do you have a moment?
My guess is that the devs thought the conversations would be redundant. I think they're stupid, if that was their reasoning. Even if it was, like, I would rather, also just because having higher support with characters means more benefits to using them together in combat and all. But, like, I would rather them kind of, like, rehash Edelgard and Lysithia's supports, even if they were, like, really similar to the Three Houses ones. I would still want them in this game just for the sake of it, to be honest. I confess I'm more than a little relieved that things have finally settled down in Regan. And that's to say nothing of my relief that we didn't lose Count Bergliez in the bargain. However, it looks like we'll need to keep a careful association with Claude moving forward. I don't know why I threw the word help in there. But dude, I'm so happy about Bergliez being safe. Even the strongest man in the Empire ends up on the back foot from time to time. I'm just glad he made it out in one piece. Agreed, although it was an interesting experience to see that even the great Count Bergliez is human. What a lad, that Bergliez. Love that guy. Absolutely love that guy. Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, so...
Never in all my life thought I'd run into somebody who could take out Holst. I don't know about that Bergliez guy. He and Holst are so blasted strong they don't even seem human. But Bergliez has a crest, whereas Holst doesn't. So if it comes out a draw, that's basically a win for Holst, yeah? Either way, I sure don't want to tussle with either of them. Holst doesn't have a crest? Does Hilda not have a crest? Oh, you can go to the war map from right there. I didn't know that. Greetings, Commander. Nothing to report. The gates of Aryan Road seem every bit as gigantic and sturdy as those in the capitals. Oh, how I'd love to stand watch there. Not that I'm not proud of the tiny gate we have here. Wait, did I just call it tiny? Forget I said anything. Hilda does have a crest, but Holst doesn't? Interesting.
Hear a girl out, will you?
I am Baron Martin, and my territory is located southeast of here. Not that I expect you to know that, of course. I fear we're something of a minor house. Nonetheless, I will help you capture Aryan Road. All right, very good. We're almost done chatting with everyone.
I suppose...
I don't care about Fargus personally, but I do have family there. Yeah, I vaguely remember this. You're like related to Mercedes, aren't you? You have the same hair color. I heard they are fighting for the kingdom. On the battlefield, they are our enemy.
Got a sec?
Never would have thought I'd hear about family from you. You talking siblings or what? My mother and sister. They are all I have. The lives of enemies and allies mean nothing to me. But I could not bear to lose her. Sounds like we gotta recruit Mercedes if the game lets us. I like Mercedes. Oh, goddess. Oh, excuse me, do you need something? Ask about her
What do
faith.
you think?
The Empire is working to annihilate the Central Church, yet faith is clearly important to you. Are you really okay with all this? I feel a bit conflicted because I accepted the doctrine of the Central Church simply as a matter of course. But so long as I can still pray, that is enough. Alright, good for you.
Wait up.
Seems like we got more mercs on our side lately. Can we really trust them? Wouldn't be surprising if they had a couple of spies mixed in among them. Better keep the important information close to the vest. No need to tell the mercs everything, after all. Those people would turn in their own grandmother for a couple of coins if it came down to it. Not if they want to keep getting paid.
Greetings. Listen.
Do you know what the Kingdom and Alliance possess which the Empire does not? Perhaps my question is overly broad, so let me just get to the point. I refer to the heroes' relics. Oh, we don't have any of them? Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna claim to not know much about them.
Yeah.
Relics are those fancy weapons used by folks with crests, yeah?
Truth be told,
They are handed down among nobles of the Kingdom and Alliance who descend from the great heroes known as the Tin Elites. In any event, relics are such powerful weapons that it is said a single one of them equals the might of 1,000 ordinary soldiers. Such is what it means to face off against the Kingdom and the several relics in their possession. Game, I beg of you, let me recruit Felix and get his butter shield.
Not good.
We ended up facing off against Gerald's mercenaries again in Regan. It's almost like there's some fateful connection between us and them. Yeah! That's not my fault.
actually,
I actually fought them a while ago and lost. Badly. Which means they've always been strong. That makes it all the more curious. Indeed, Dorothea, indeed. Wolf Paladin, welcome to stream.
greetings.
Wait, we have someone right here to talk to? Imperial General? I've looked up to the Knights of the Kingdom since I was a small girl, but now that the time has come to cross spears with them, I find myself increasingly nervous. I pray I fight in a way that does no shame to my opponents. And then lastly, Arval.
What is it?
What's the matter? Having second thoughts? Don't worry about it. You're human after all. A little wavering is only natural. Trust in me. I will guide you to the right answer. We are in Chapter 8, Epic Sax guy. Just started Chapter 8. Okay. We got all the chatting done. I want to look at the war map before I start using my my training and my action points or whatever they're called, activity points.
Which battlefield are you headed?
Let me see what we got going on here. Oh. You have to go in from the sides. Interesting. You have unlocked the Paralog Battle, the Saros Snare. Petra, Yuritsa, and a Hubert. Very interesting. The Minister of the Imperial Household learns of the enemy's plans to raid Garreg Mach, and he knows just who to use to lay a trap of his own. Vestra's sorcery engineers sound cool, and we... Even if we don't S-rank, we get the Brigid Hunters, which is nice. Okay, so we definitely want to try to level up Hubert and Yuritsa a little bit during this chapter for their Paralog. A 3-person Paralog is really interesting. We're probably going to go do this far. I thought, honestly, that the game would let us do this right out the gate, but they were like, oh, but if you want to get more stuff, go around. Anna is over on this side as well, so we'll definitely attack at the left first so that we can get to this thing. And then we'll come back around on the right. And as usual, we're going to do every single location to get the most gameplay and the most stuff.
Make sure you're ready.
So we have 6 battles to do, 7 counting the Paralog, before we get to the end of this chapter. Okay, how much money do I have right now? 14 grand, not bad. I know we sold our bullions last time. I don't know if I've gotten another 1 or 2 since then. We'll probably end up doing some auxiliary battles as well to try and S-rank some older stuff. Let's knock out some training real fast. I want to put Bernadetta with Linhart, I believe. Yeah, because they need support points with each other. So let's put Bernadetta and Linhart together here. I want to put in Yuritsa as well. Who does Yuritsa have supports with?
Can't wait to see.
We want to do Hubert and Yuritsa because they have their Paralog coming up. Yuritsa has the bonus thing as well, so we probably want to use him out the gate here. Yuritsa really only has supports with Manuela, Rogue, and Edelgard. So let's put him in with Edelgard then. And then Hubert, I think, is currently in the training thing. Who do you need some supports with? Ferdinand needs a lot with Ferdinand. A little more with Monica. Lysithia, definitely we want to get him with Lysithia, I think. Also Petra. Because he's one of the only ones that Lysithia can get supports with. So because he's one of the only ones Lysithia can do supports with out of our characters, because it's just her, Ferdinand, and whatever, let's actually put him with Petra, I think, to start getting their supports up. Because they're going to be doing the Paralog together as well. And then Yuritsa had... I want Yuritsa with Edelgard for training, and then Hubert with Petra.
Can be the difference between victory and defeat.
So put Petra here in place of Monica. There we go. And then Ferdinand with Yuritsa. So take out Rogue for Yuritsa here. Yeah, he doesn't have any of his class stuff on Paladin. So start training that up. And then I said someone with Edelgard, didn't I? Who was I supposed to put with Edelgard? Or no, was I supposed to do Yuritsa with Edelgard? Did I get that wrong? Yeah, I did get that wrong. It's supposed to be Yuritsa with Edelgard, not Ferdinand. Whoops. My bad. Confused myself. And then Ferdinand has supports with Lysithea, right? Yes, so put Lysithea here with Ferdinand. Perfect. And then who does... We have Marianne now. Who does Marianne have supports with? Rogue, Bernadetta. Just Rogue and Bernadetta. Okay. It seems like, yeah, it definitely seems like the one major thing the Three Hopes is lacking on is supports. Especially supports between, like, going from house to house. Because Lysithea and Marianne have practically no supports with Black Eagle's characters. Very little. DMR Jr., thank you so much for subbing to Tier 1 for 18 months on an 18-month streak. That is insane, dude. A year and a half. Thank you so much for the support. Never played a Fire Emblem game, so I'll pretend I understand what's happening. This is not your average Fire Emblem game. This is a Warriors spin-off, so it does not play... The gameplay is not like other Fire Emblem games, so... Just so you're aware. This isn't... What you see here isn't what you should expect from your standard Fire Emblem game. Alright, put in Marianne. And then Marianne with Rogue? We do need Rogue to master Swordmaster at some point, and I never have him play as Swordmaster, because he has that unique master class we're going to get eventually. So we should definitely keep him mastering Swordmaster. Alright, good. Let's use some of these training points. Yo, Diligent Trainee 3, let's go.
We both were sweating greatly.
To be fair, this time around, all the students only interacted for about a month or so before the time skip, which is why now they should have more supports to interact with one another more as they get to know each other.
I work to grow.
This power... This is...
Linhardt mastered his thing. But I want you to keep getting more support with Bernie. You don't have any advanced classes yet, Linhardt? Hold up, let's, do I have an advanced seal? I can go buy one if I don't. Let's... Yeah, okay, we do. Good. Rank up my boy here. He's a priest!
Well, don't...
Or a bishop, rather. My bad, I thought that was priest. We could make him a dark bishop? That must have been the only advanced seal I had. We need to go buy some more. Alright, back to training. Keep it up, everyone. Let's get down to 2 training points here.
Behold the fruits of our labor.
I am very excited to try out Lysithea, by the way. Especially considering she's so dang good in, You guys do have supports together, right? Yeah. She's so dang good at, whatever it is I'm thinking of. In Three Houses, she's amazing. One of the best mage units in the game, if not the best.
Make the most of this ability.
Death Slightly Broken Tea, my favorite.
Who knew this?
Spike could be interesting. I like Edelgard's Swinging Fury combat art, but I have been wanting to get her something different instead of Returning Axe or whatever it's called. Alright, let's hold on to the rest of our training points. Also, let me look at level ups. We need to level up Yuritsa and... Oh, Lysithea and Marianne are already 27. That's really good. Yuritsa and Hubert need some level ups. This is going to be really expensive, but I'm going to take Yuritsa up to 24 here. 7 levels, 5 strength. That's this seems decent for 7 level ups. This seems pretty good for 7 level ups, all things considered. And then Hubert. Linhardt also needs a boost at some point, but I only have so much money at the moment. Hubert up to 23. It's going to take most of our money, but we're about to do some missions and get some money back. We're going to do some auxiliary battles. Yo, plus 8 magic. Hubert's magic stat is insane. And he is Dark Mage. We haven't been using Dark Mage at all, so... I am looking forward to seeing that play out.
Can't wait to see how you do.
Definitely we want to start going back and S-ranking some of the old auxiliary battles so that we can just get money from doing the missions and then also get the items, I think. Another thing I think I want to do, maybe not in today's stream, but probably during this chapter, I want to start actually using some of our stat-up items, because we haven't been using them, like, at all. So, I'm really bad in basically every video game ever about just hoarding stat-up items and never using them until the end of the game. But I feel like, of all the games that I do that in, this game is probably the most foolish to be doing that. All right, let's get some meal effects going. We need to level up this facility more so that we can start hopefully getting some food effects that aren't like slightly boosted or slightly reduced. I need like better boosts. I need more food options. So let's get Awakening Gauge and Warrior Gauge both fill slightly faster. Marianne. And then, did Marianne have supports with Hubert? I don't remember. I think Marianne only had supports with Rogue and, like, Lysithia, maybe. Who do I need more with? Balthus? Balthus. Yeah, so Balthus. Yo, Culinary Commander. Let's go.